40th book review. Holes, Louis Sachar. You're staring at my zit, aren't you? Yeah. Damn it. Now, this is arguably one of Louis Sachar's best books. I don't think it's his best book. That honor I reserve for There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom. But this is definitely up there, and you could argue that this is his best novel. It won a Newbery Award, it was made into a movie, and it's just a great story. The story is about Stanley Yelnats, whose family is under a curse thanks to his no-good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. As such, Stanley Yelnats is often found in the wrong place at the wrong time. As a result of this, Stanley finds himself accused of a crime that he did not commit, and therefore sent to a boys' detention center known as Camp Green Lake. At Camp Green Lake, the policy is that if you make the boys work really, really hard, that will improve their character and make them better citizens to go out into the world. As such, they have to go out to the dried up lake bed and dig a hole, 5 feet deep, 5 feet in diameter. 1 hole per day, and then that's it. They're free to do whatever they want from there. But, as is often the case in Louis Sachar's stories, there's more here than what meets the eye. So as you can tell, the premise of this novel is actually pretty creative. In addition, the settings are very well described, and the characterization is, well, it's Sachar characterization. In this novel, Sachar uses the nicknames of the characters to really describe them. Each of the kids at Camp Green Lake has a nickname that has been assigned to him. In fact, that's kind of a rite of passage. You have to have a nickname or the boys haven't accepted you. And even though the nicknames are never explained, they do kind of describe the characters in that same caricature-like style that Sachar is known for from Wayside School. Holes is one of those novels that's really, really difficult to put down. One reason for this is the chapters are short. Some of them are only a couple of pages long. And so as you're reading, you think, yeah, I can read another chapter. And then the next thing you know, you're at the end of the book. But of course that method only works if there are things in the chapter that make you want to keep reading another chapter, and naturally there are. This book is basically a mystery, and each chapter adds a new puzzle piece to the mystery, even though it might not seem like it at the time. Some chapters just give us a little tidbit of information that doesn't really seem relevant at the time, but then later the puzzle piece fits into the overall story. And if you know anything about my taste in literature after 40 book reviews, then you know that I really, really like books where the puzzle pieces start to fit together. Also, there are a lot of backstories being balanced here. There's Stanley's backstory, there's his friend Zero's backstory, there's the Yelnats family backstory, there's Camp Green Lake's backstory, there's the backstory of the original town that was Green Lake. Lots and lots of different things going on, and Sachar manages to weave them all together seamlessly and give us this really, really compelling narrative. And something else that Sachar also does really well is that he kind of misleads us on occasion. Like, the story itself looks like it's going to be a particular kind of story based on its premise, and it's going to go in a particular direction. And then we find out that Stanley's story is not the only story, and he's part of a much, much larger story. Now, there are 2 major themes associated with this novel. The first is race, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand. And the second is destiny. The Yelnats family is supposedly cursed. Now, a specific curse is never mentioned, and specific magic is only hinted at, not overtly seen. But in the end, it really doesn't matter. Yes, bad things did happen to the Yelnats family, but the point is not that they were cursed. The point is that they bore with it, and they made the best they could of a crappy situation. And the curse was eventually broken, not because they were trying to break it, but because Stanley was trying to do right by his friend. So, this is a great story. I love this story. It definitely deserved the Newbery Award that it got. And in a lot of ways, it is just classic Sachar. It is a Louis Sachar story. You don't get much better than this. So Louis Sachar's Holes is still a favorite, and for my next favorite books review, we will be going back to the author Bruce Coville and reviewing Spirits and Spells. See you next time.